As part of the reflection, I have more focused on the innovation and making it more successful. And here I am with the title Leading Successful Innovation. So I am going to cover 5 points. These are as follows. The first one is understanding human needs before innovation. Second is about change agent characteristics. Third, I will be talking about making innovations successful. And the fourth, my knowledge transformation with the course that we have taken. Lastly, I do have collection of questions and uncertainties from the resource that I have investigated. Let's begin. So first, human needs. There are a lot of scientific modulation of human needs established so far, and I have presented four of those. These are self-determination theory, Maslow's need hierarchy, Kano model of customer satisfaction, and Max Neef model. Let's understand them one by one. These are important because for every innovation, we should understand how human needs work, because innovations are done to fulfill those human needs at various stages of life. So first, self-determination theory. So this is more about psychological needs, and it covers three of the necessity of human. So we need autonomy, number one thing, second competence, and third relatedness. For any kind of journey that human to be happy, people need these three needs. And this is as per the research from Gunnar Shekhar 2016. Next, let's move with Maslow's need hierarchy theory. This is very famous and well adapted theory. So, which starts with psychological needs, safety needs, love needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. And if we go with more description of all those needs, the psychological needs cover food, shelter, water, reproductions, and many things. So second comes as the safety as a protections, and the love and belongingness, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of common, and esteem is kind of respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, and freedom. Self-actualization is at the top of the needs, which means desire to become the most that one can be, like kind of king. So we have to understand these human needs. Let's get with the third. Third is about product attribute classification. This is actually the Kano model of customer satisfaction, and it actually classifies the product attribute in three forms, which are the first one is must be, without what the business cannot exist. Second is performance, more performance is better, so the user become happy. And next, third one is the excitement. So you can see the chart over here that the diagonal means performance is progressive. More performance the service gives, more happy the customer becomes. And the curve delighters and the must be. So must be is like a necessity. If the must be feature is lacking, then users would be very dissatisfied. Let's get with the another need, that is a Max Neef model, and it has collection of 9 needs of human. So those are subsistence, protection, affection, understanding, participation, leisure, creation, identity, freedom. And if these needs are covered, then human becomes satisfied. So with understanding human needs with a lot of scientific model, now we move to another topic. This is about change agent characteristics. And change agent characteristics, we actually have synthesized a lot of research papers and came to this data collection from Malmo University. So these are as follows. Change agent must be curious, empathic, visionary, creative, resilient, collaborative, courageous, and purpose driven. Now, after this, I want to highlight my own synthesis of the lessons that I have learned on making innovation successful. And this I have classified into three of the major criteria as a requirement analysis and verification. Second is about decision making, and third is about the continuation of the journey that we take. Let's dive more with the requirement analysis and verifications. Here, Mostly software startups consider requirements engineering as lightweight, adaptive, and validation driven, focusing primarily on product market fit. So this is as per the research Gupta ETAL 2020 that many evolving software company are really taking the market, but long-term stability would be difficult as they focus on the current product market fit. So next, about requirement analysis and verification, we went through Diana Kander video of the TED Talk titled Our Approach to Innovation is Dead Wrong, which actually taught us that for an innovation, rather to create something in a vacuum, we should try to sell first 20 products or make a landing website and check how many buy buttons are clicked by our target users rather just making something in the vacuum and then you spend a lot of time and get into the market. Third important resource is from the guy Kawasaki with the title The Art of Innovation that we went through, and it does tell about the innovation to be tested. So we should be having a lot of choices to user. We should not come to the market with one service but many service and check which service is more liked by the user. As per illustration he gave that the Apple when entered into the computer market, so they hope that the Word, Excel, PowerPoint would be the best selling point, but people actually took not Word, Excel, PowerPoint, but it as a desktop publishing. It became famous as desktop publishing. So it was that product Apple more focused on within the computer. So he also tells one surprising factor that if you have some product in the market, even if it is not that well enough, just launch it and have other versions. So next resource that I went through for the requirement analysis was How to Talk to Customers When Everyone is Lying to You by Rob Fitzpatrick. And here it means how do you know that customer is not lying is when you ask the customer that would you buy something, then of course they will say yes. So that's empathy. But don't go with empathy. Try to ask their money, time, or their recognition. So then if they have to contribute something, then you know that they actually want it or not. Next thing is about unexpected benefit of celebrating failure by Astro Taylor. This resource told us have some business idea and with the intention trying to fail it, perform it. Unless it is not successful, the failure is not successful means the project is always successful. So the last one is from Jiang et al. Research. It provides a framework for the requirement analysis. We should actually identify, evaluate, and prioritize the needs. Okay, well, now moving to decision making and cognitive clarity for the innovation. As always, the decision making has to be done once you land innovation. So we 2025 propose that for decision making, simulation assessment of each option, removing bias and opinion helps to make better decision. And with the second resource, How to Make Hard Choices by Ruth Chan, it talks about that when we have equal kind of options to take, so we should be going through one of the option and work for it so hard in a way that we can succeed the decision that we have taken. Okay, well, as for my personal perspective, I would go for SWOT analysis, means strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, comparing all these factors with the options available. So next, How to Make Choosing Easier by Sena Langer. Here, the speaker gives a strategy to implement in 4 ways. The first one, to cut options as much as possible. Secondly, to concretize options, analyzing the consequences. Third one, categorizing of the options. And finally, start deciding from easy to complex will make easy for the decision. Next is about The Art of Asking Questions by Henry Bissinet. Here, the speaker tells about asking questions like preschoolers, not like the grown-ups who actually uh, goes through school just to get good marks. But if you be like preschooler, then you ask a lot of questions, making you aware of a lot of informations, which ultimately helps to take better decision. So another content, The Art of Asking Right Questions by Caroline Rady is about asking questions like, are you happy? Or like, what makes you happy? This will make us to get more information so that the decision will be easier. So ultimately, all of these resources helps that to acquire more information, process them, and compare each option so that the better decision can be taken. So when innovation is continued, like we do need motivation and long-term growth support. And for this, my summary of the knowledge from the course is The Power of Belief, Mindset and Success by Aditya Brisciano. So here it talks about we should be having growth mindset rather than fixed mindset and stopping to develop. So we should always reflect on the thing that we can improve and on the thing that we are better, and keep working so that our level becomes perfect. So another research by the same speaker is about how to get better at things you care about. And to do so, we should foster learning habit in life and enhance our way of working. So next factor, the puzzle of motivation by Dan Pink says to actually focus on the intrinsic motivation where autonomy, mastery, and the purpose is sought rather than the reward and punishment. This is scientifically proved, but he actually wonders why businesses still rely on reward and punishment rather autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So another content from Angela Lee Duckworth, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, tells that passion and perseverance bring success in any fields with growth mindset. So next, a research from Wang ETL 2021 proposes perseverance and consistency increases when there is engagement with meaningful and supported activities. But in real life, to get such an environment is very challenging. Okay, now moving towards my knowledge transformation from this course, that reflecting on the transformation from the start to so far now. My knowledge, inspiration, and researches were mostly based on the opinion and Google searches to know some kind of ideas. From here, the investigation research papers and the TED Talks have increased since with the introduction of this course. And especially in week 43, we were given tasks not only to watch videos but also provide effective insights, reflective insights, and discuss it. So this idea made more knowledgeable to me, which I was not, and maintaining learning skills. So we could be mastering some kind of concept and like going through the market being super talented, but the constant environment could be changed. The market could be changed. So it's more about learning always and validating business aims. So we do have some kind of aims and we try to go with that aims, but we should be sure that those aims are truly something the market wants. So that also should be always validated, and providing user with the options. So like it's not sure that some kind of product or the way that you want to serve the customer would exactly be liked by the customer. So have some options for the customers and check like which options is more preferred. So lastly, to follow above synthesis, which was made earlier in the previous slides about innovation synthesis with the requirement, with the decision making, and as well as the continuation of the innovation. So something coming towards the questions and uncertainties. I have several questions and uncertainties, it goes from 1 to 7. So the first one is, does idea validation matter for giant companies? which we saw that we should validate our ideas, but we never see this with the companies like the Apple, the giant motor company, automobile company like Tesla. People buy it. So is it acceptable to enter market even if you have an on-feed product and keep updating its version as suggested by Guy Kawasaki on a TED title, The Art of Innovation? Next, information acquisition, comparison, embracing the result makes better decision. What is your office decision you took? That's something we can discuss. Do you agree that employers provide growth mindset to employees in tech industry? How can learning habits be kept alive after starting full-time work? We see the value of learning habits, but once you go into the work, like you're busy. So, what jobs provide sense of autonomy, mastery, and sense of purpose, a kind of insight, motivation? So, lastly, why management still focuses on the reward and punishment rather giving them intrinsic motivation? So, this is it, and here are the references. So, this is all my reflection of the contents, especially focusing on the innovations, more on week 43 about how to make an innovation successful. Thank you.